Hey guys, welcome back to the Comic Book Lowdown. I'm Wellington, coming at you guys for first time in a while. I did a haul video last week, but I didn't do my reviews because I only had two books, and I didn't even read those books last week. I just read them now. I just saved them, and I didn't do a haul video this week because I got my books late. So I'm just gonna show you guys my books as I review them, and I'm actually gonna review everything together from last week and this week. So, as per usual, I review my books from least liked to pick of the week, and we'll get started right away with the first book, Deadpool issue number 30. It's a really cool cover, but still, it's proving to be a book that has gone down in quality immensely since its price change, which really sucks. Some people even say earlier than that, but I say after the price change it got a lot worse. This issue was better than the last issue. I absolutely hated, but this issue was better. It was funnier at least, and you got to see more of some stuff going on with Agent Preston finding or looking for Deadpool's daughter, Ellie. And so all of that stuff is really cool. The team up between Deadpool and Dazzler fighting all these kind of vampires and stuff, that's fun. Again, this issue was a lot better than the last one, but still not super great. I'm actually still pretty against Deadpool's marriage at this point, because it's kind of washed up some of the quality Deadpool time that we get. He had a good amount of characters around him that supported his character, but now it's kind of drowning his character out, and I just think that this story was a weaker one. So anyways, Deadpool number 30, better than the last, but not to what Deadpool had been before. Next issue I have here, it's funny how the first two issues I'm reviewing happen to be the issues that I got last week. So the next issue I have here is Amazing Spider-Man Learning to Crawl. This is issue 1.2. This actually was really good, but it was also it was really good, but it was also in the realm of just not as good as everything else. In this, we kind of continue with the Super Spider-Man fan. Right now, I can't think of his Clayton. His name is Clayton Cole, and he's assumed the persona of Clash, and he's pretty much a spoiled rich kid who's trying to videotape him fighting Spider-Man, kind of, a fake fight, but trying to get famous on YouTube or whatever, and get noticed. And he's also trying to be a superhero, but he doesn't really have what it takes, because he's not doing it for the good. He's doing it for, kind of the notoriety. And then meanwhile, we got Peter Parker struggling with his personal life and kind of going into detail with things that we haven't seen before from Peter. Kind of him embracing other nerdy people in his school, and a different kind of view on his on Amazing Spider-Man issue number 1, like the actual issue number 1 where he tries to join the Fantastic Four. You get it, like a different view on that, which is cool, and kind of view on the Chameleon and things that we see issues of Amazing Spider-Man play out in a different context, which is really cool. So all in all, the way this ends also on a big cliffhanger with Aunt May finding something, but we don't know what she finds yet. I mean, we can safely assume that it's not the Spider-Man costume, I'm guessing, but it's something that shocks her, and I'm hoping to find out what happens next. Excited about the next issue. And now, I guess starting with the books from this week, I only had 3 books this week, so only 5 books reviewed. But they were all really good. And the first one here is Thunderbolts issue number 27. It's actually Punisher versus the Thunderbolts Part 1. And this is actually the first issue of the new writers, Ben Acker and Ben Blacker. I really cannot fathom that those are those 2 guys' names and that they're actually working together. It's weird. It's just weird. But anyways, this issue though, great debut issue, honestly. Kind of the Thunderbolts are trying to take down, really they're just taking down kind of missions, small missions together, and it seems like they're working a little bit better together, but it comes to one point where they're on a mission, and it gets to the point where it gets to Punisher way too much, and he decides to quit, and then what then happens is what is going to make this Punisher versus the Thunderbolts. And this issue is really driven by dialogue, so that's what makes this issue so good, and the situation, which makes it even better. I can't spoil it, so short review for this, but Thunderbolts issue number 27 was actually really good, and I'm gonna keep on this book, and these writers hopefully do some good work, and I love that cover. So the next book is almost was pick of the week, really pretty much on the same level as my pick of the week, so I guess like a double pick of the week. But this is Nova issue number 18, another great cover, another Original Sin tie-in, but this tie-in is fantastic. All about, it starts off with kind of Nova and Sam and his family giving kind of a memorial for fallen Novas at their house, and then Sam kind of goes off into space, gonna look into some things, and then he sees the moon. He decides to visit the Watcher, where he then finds the Watcher dead. He freaks out, and the whole issue is driven so well by his inner monologue, and kind of like his confusion and his like anger and how scared he is, and all of these emotions that he has that drives this issue. And then he engages in the fight with the Avengers and Spider-Man and Daredevil and Fantastic Four against the Mindless Ones and Exterminatrix, things like that. He gets into that fight, but he's still struggling with what happened, that he feels like he didn't even do anything in the fight to help. And by the end of this, when the orb explodes the Watcher's eye, pretty much, he sees the sins of his father, and it makes this issue a lot crazier, and I cannot wait for the next issue. It's going to be freaking awesome. Nova number 18, so good. And then finally, last book is Daredevil issue number 4. Again, another great cover. There were great covers all around. But this issue kind of, I don't want to say puts a cap onto the arc, but it kind of leaves it as it is. There's no real capping off arcs with this story, because they just keep going pretty much. But last issue we had Matt in a bad situation with the Shroud kind of crossing him in the Owl's compound, and then kind of trapdoor thing has Matt falling into a pit of fire, but then the Shroud crosses the Owl and helps Matt, and then Matt escapes, and then there's this whole big thing to the big realization of why the Shroud, Max, is doing what he's doing, because then he ends up trying to help the Owl steal something that's gonna give him like omnipotence or something like that. But once we get down to really what Max, aka the Shroud, is trying to do, we really get to see Matt Murdock relate to the Shroud and also just tell him off and kind of just like put him in his place. And that's what I like. They've been building this so much over, just 4 issues. But it's built up so much to the point where it finally exploded. And it's definitely a really good, it's not driven by action, but it's driven by dialogue. And that's what Mark Waid and Chris Samney are doing so well. They're giving great dialogue with great images and just putting them all together to make amazing stories. And that's why Daredevil is the best book at Marvel, because it's following a path that it's just the best book. I don't know how else to say it, but anyways, Daredevil issue number 4, just fantastic. And that's all the books I have for you this week. That's all the reviews. I also did finish reading Sin City Volume 1, so I should be doing a review on that pretty soon. I got to get Volume 2 and the rest. But yeah, so anyways, that's me. I'm Wellington, signing off with a Comic Lowdown. See you guys next time.